It is the day the entire DMV has been waiting for. It is finally here. In about 30 minutes, pandemonium will engulf the National Zoo. Right now, we can tell you that hundreds of people are standing by for their first opportunity, the first chance to meet DC's newest panda duo, of course, Qing Bao and Bao Li.
Oh, they are the talk of the town. This meeting has been months in the making since the panda pair arrived from China back in October of last year. And while some lucky people did get a preview earlier this month, today the new panda exhibit will officially be opened to the public. Thank you so much for joining us on our Panda Unveiling streaming special. I love this day. I'm Allison Seymour.
And I'm Annie Yu. Welcome in. It is definitely an exciting day for our area and one that we know so many of you at home have been waiting to see. Let's give you a live look right now inside the National Zoo, where of course officials there are gathering for this very special day, the unveiling ceremony. It is expected to start at any minute now. You can see everybody just out there trying to stay warm for this big debut.
A lot of officials, looks like a lot of press out there. Of course, we're all familiar with that whole shop, like the void that was left when our pandas left town, right? And all the shops and all the merchandise, they really have become the unofficial mascot of Washington, D.C. since they arrived way back in the 70s.
Oh, there it is, the revival of the Panda Cam.
The Panda Cam is back up and running.
Yes.
And I don't know if that little panda looks excited or just like, it's just another day. I am the show. But again, today is the day. We're waiting on a special announcement from the zoo, and then that panda exhibit opens once again.
And what makes this so much more special and exciting is that there was a little bit of that uncertainty when they left us 15 months ago. Right? 15 months of just trying to wait and see. And here we are. We're finally able to take our families, our kids out there again to the National Zoo. The thing about today, though, you definitely need that entry ticket, so be sure to sign online for that ticket to get inside. But, you know, the best thing about the Smithsonian, it's free.
Free 99.
Can't beat that.
Right, and we live in such a wonderful area for that. Of course, all of the Smithsonian museums, and as the Smithsonian, the National Zoo, it again is free too. But yep, you do need those, basically the times. I can't imagine the crowds that they're going to see today, but you do need to reserve your spot. But just like you're looking at right here, this Panda Cam, the Panda Cams are up and running, and if you can't make it today, because it is also very cold out there, you know, then you can check them out online for sure. And it looks like this little panda parade is
how cute.
is happening right now, probably for the big announcement today as well.
They're ready. They are so ready to see the pandas. You know, I read that annually it's 1.9 million visitors annually who come to the nation's capital to see our pandas. We are the only ones here in the DC area to have the giant pandas, and it's such a big deal, not only for us who live here, but for those who travel from every corner of the country to come and see this attraction. I want to also share that there's this really important meaning behind it. The Smithsonian Zoo actually pays the China Wildlife Conservation Association $1 million a year to house the pandas.
The whole idea of this really starts with conservation too. Yes, they're just so darn cute, and they want to build the numbers back up for the pandas. So when we always have to say goodbye to our panda cubs, it's for a good reason. And hopefully from here to eternity, we always have pandas at our National Zoo. You know, just looking at some interesting panda facts that you might not have known. We talked about this one earlier. They don't hibernate. They don't care. They're not fazed by this cold. They're used to it in the mountains.
This is their preference, right?
Exactly. And so they don't hibernate. They are endangered. They're endangered due to habitat loss. And pandas, we think of them as cute and cuddly, but Annie, they have two sets of teeth, similar to, up and down. Right. The teeth are strong, and they allow them to crush bamboo with one bite.
And they love bamboo.
And they love it. We know they almost exclusively eat bamboo. So yeah.
So here's the other kicker too. So
Bamboo
there's
is their
like a
jam.
whole generational line here,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to screw this up in any way, so I'm going to look at my notes here. But you've got Bao Li and Qing Bao.
Okay.
Okay. So Bao Li, the boy,
We're here right
he
now,
is
yeah.
a third generation Washingtonian, and you're like, okay, how?
I love
So
it.
his mom
Okay.
is Bao Bao.
We all remember Bao Bao.
Yes,
Yes.
we miss you, Bao Bao. Bao Bao's parents, Mei Zhang and Tai Shan,
Okay.
also housed here.
Oh, so they're
at our zoo.
Washingtonians.
So this
Okay.
is
Okay.
years of the pandas being here.
Let's listen to the kiddos welcome the pandas. There you see Muriel Bowser right
Yeah.
there as everybody prepares for this press conference. I'm sure this is just all part of the program with these wonderful kids there. The head of the Smithsonian right there as well. And there's the mayor donned in the burgundy and gold cap.
Yeah.
We're celebrating
because-
two big things.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's such an exciting week. We've had this past week, right?
That's
We've
right.
been looking forward to this moment. Of course, Panda's iconic part of the Washington story. And you know, when the girls were young, I mean,
Yes.
this was
Oh.
a must. I could not
Right,
wait to
right.
get little Ava into the zoo.
There are many pictures. A lot of the times when we would go, we're like, no, where are they? But just to be in that space, I mean, there are pictures of us taking pictures of the kids in front with really nothing behind them in
Right.
the enclosed. But it was just to be in the space that's the kind of excitement the pandas generate.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we are still standing by, but you know, we were so sad when they had to shut down, or the panda cams went dark, of
Right.
course, because we no longer had just
didn't-
hours
yes.
of footage to watch them.
Look at-
But
look at her
it's really
sleeping up
fun to see them in their own little habitat, and they were trying to get the pandas, you know, acclimated to their new space, which is why we had that lull. It was like what, 2.5 months, because they got here in October, right? So October of 2024, and they really wanted to get Bao Li and Qing Bao acclimated to their new space.
Right.
But I'm sure they enjoyed some of that snow we had
Oh,
too.
for sure.
recently.
We saw that footage. I wish that, you know, we're waiting for the press conference to start, so we don't want to break away. But that great footage of the pandas rolling around in the snow was just so wonderful to see. So
I think we do have it
Oh, we
here.
have it?
Let's show
Okay.
that, because we really got a kick out of it.
yes.
Them enjoying, well, that's not quite the snow video, but you get the point.
I have another fun fact that this one you can you know, delight the people around the water cooler with. Pandas poop about 100 times a day. All that bamboo
Okay,
go right through you,
yeah.
I suppose. And we've all seen, and we can't wait for birthdays with that fruitsicle cake
Yes, that they get
get
on their
Yeah,
birthdays,
we
yeah.
really so happy they're back in DC for sure. And they're the kids. They're just leaving that big scene. They did such a good job. Good job, kids.
Love it.
All right.
And again, it's no secret that the pandas, they often symbolize the conservation efforts and also our relationship with China. They're going to be here for the next 10 years that we know for sure.
Okay, well, I'll prepare myself. Hopefully
Yeah, we
there
have
will
plenty
be
of time to go.
Yes, and they said earlier that, you know, this pair, they're very young. The first pandas that came, they weren't as young, right? These guys are young, so they're hoping in a couple of years maybe they'll take a liking to each other and maybe have a little baby. I don't know. We don't want to rush it. We don't know if their chemistry is right, but yeah. So hopefully we'll see.
And I remember one of the first fun facts that I learned about pandas was that when they're born, they're the size of a butter stick.
I was going to guess if that's what it was.
That always like sticks with you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, they're the size of a butter stick?
I love that.
They're so tiny.
All right. Here we go. Let's listen in on the press conference from the zoo.
Director of the zoo. I'm going to keep my remarks brief this morning because I know the only creature on the planet right now who is enjoying this weather are our pandas. I suspect right now they're sitting in a pile of snow eating a fruitsicle. So they'll be happy. So first, I want to thank all of you for being here. People don't always realize that we are part of Smithsonian and that anyone can come here, see our animals, yes, including our pandas, entirely for free. We're the only place on the planet where people can see giant pandas for free. And millions of people come to the zoo every year, but millions more can connect with our wildlife, including all of our cameras, including the Smithsonian's most popular website, the Giant Panda Cam. You know about our incredible animals, and you know about our incredible zoo, but I want to take this moment to emphasize that we are also a conservation organization. We have cutting-edge conservation and research programs working with community and partners at the zoo, in Front Royal, Virginia, at our Conservation Biology Institute, across the United States, and in more than 47 countries around the world. We're working to build a more sustainable future for our wildlife, our people, and our planet. And nowhere is what we do more evident than our Giant Panda program. We have 50 years of cooperation and collaboration to save an endangered species. People always ask me, they're like, why do we love pandas so much? Why does everyone love pandas? I think the number one reason is because they're cute. I've been working with pandas for almost 20 years, and I just, one day I suspect I'll look at a panda and the magic will wear off, but it never does. It never has. The other thing is that they're rare. You know, they're rare because we need more animals in the wild, but it's also rare for people to see them. To actually have a chance in person to see what they're like and see them in person. But I also think we value them because they are a success story, right? A lot of species are having challenges in the wild. The picture isn't bright for a lot of species, but with pandas it is. With pandas, we are making a difference to save an endangered species. Giant pandas truly represent how great conservation outcomes can be achieved through great partnerships and public support. We've gone from less than 1,000 pandas on the planet, when this program started decades ago, less than 1,000 pandas on the planet, to almost 3,000 pandas in the wild and in breeding centers around the world. Thank you. We've gone from a few smattering of wild areas for giant pandas to, in China, there is now a panda reserve 3 times the size of Yellowstone's National Park, where pandas can live and they can thrive in the wild. People love pandas because they're a success, but the reality is pandas are a success because all of the people care for them so much. None of this is possible without the dedication and passion of our staff, our members, our donors, our fans, and all of our partners. So I want to thank everyone who supports this program. We know how much you love our animals at the National Zoo, and I can't wait to introduce you to our new animals, Qingbao and Baoli. But first, I want to introduce you to some equally special guests. We have here with us Ambassador Xia, Secretary Bunch, and Mayor Bowser. Ambassador Xia.
Honorable Secretary Bunch, Mayor Bowser, Undersecretary Stoffen, Director Smith, but distinguished guests, dear panda fans and lovers, good morning. It is a great delight to come to the district of Panda and witness the debut of Baoli and Qingbao together with all of you. Washington, D.C. is no longer unbearable and I believe all of you can barely wait to see them. Giant pandas are not just national treasures of China, but also a shining example of China's ecological conservation. Some of them are superstars at zoos, growing up happily under the meticulous care of panda nannies. Some are enjoying a carefree life in their beautiful home village, having fun among verdant forests and lush waters. So far, China has set up 67 panda reserves, as well as a giant panda national park spanning 3 provinces. Today, China's wild panda population has grown to nearly 1,900, and the species has been downgraded from endangered to vulnerable. So these beloved bears are not only surviving, but also thriving. In recent years, quite a number of Chinese people had the pleasant surprise of coming across wild pandas, and their videos soon went viral on the internet, cheering all panda lovers. The bond between our two peoples and pandas started over half a century ago, even earlier than the establishment of China-US diplomatic relations. As early as 1972, the first pandas coming to the United States, Ling Ling and Xing Xing, made their home at the National Zoo. Since we launched the Panda Conservation Cooperation Program with the National Zoo in 2000, we have together bred 4 panda cubs, namely Taishan, Bao Bao, Bei Bei, and Xiao Qiji. Trained more than 1,500 wildlife professionals and achieved positive results in panda conservation and breeding, disease prevention and treatment, and technical exchanges. These are important contributions to protecting global biodiversity and have also brought joy to numerous American families. As Bao Li and Qing Bao begin their 10-year journey in D.C., I believe our new round of panda cooperation will yield even more fruitful outcomes, writing a new chapter in promoting harmony between man and nature. Protecting pandas is protecting Mother Nature, and embracing pandas is embracing peace and friendship. The gentle and cute bears should not be demonized, nor should mutually beneficial panda cooperation be politicized. Some Chinese citizens commented that there is nothing a panda cannot fix, and if there is, then let's have 2. American friends told me that they are simply biologically programmed to like giant pandas. Our shared love for pandas has deepened my conviction that China and the United States have much more in common than what divides us. And whenever I think of what we have achieved on panda cooperation, I will feel more confident that as long as we work together, we can make big, great things happen to the benefit of both our countries and the world. In just 5 days, we will ring in the Lunar New Year of the Snake. I believe that surrounded by love of panda fans from both countries, Bao Li and Qing Bao will surely enjoy a most joyful Chinese New Year in D.C. And I also wish all of you a happy, lucky, and cuddly year of panda with their sweet company. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Thank you.
What a grand and glorious morning You know, as Secretary of the Smithsonian, I am so pleased to welcome you to this amazingly joyous occasion. I'm pleased because, you know, I think we all felt that sense of loss when the pandas left last year. But I'm also pleased because I did not want to be known as a secretary that lost the pandas. So for me, this is really an amazing, joyous moment. And I think it's a moment not to remember where we once were, but to celebrate where we are now, to celebrate our new arrivals. We are delighted to invite the public to meet and enjoy our wonderful new pandas, Qing Bao and Bao Li. You know, the Smithsonian giant pandas have been a presence in Washington for more than 50 years. In some ways, they are as iconic as the Washington Monument or the Lincoln Memorial. People love the pandas because the pandas make us smile and they bring us together. We are so pleased that so many people around the nation will get a chance to enjoy and engage the pandas, whether by coming to the zoo or by going to the Panda Cam and seeing them in their classrooms or in their homes. And I'm so honored to share this moment with Mayor Bowser, who is a great supporter of the Smithsonian and somebody I know comes to the zoo regularly. And I want to acknowledge the central role that Ambassador Xie has played in helping to facilitate the return of the pandas. For more than 50 years, it's important that the Smithsonian has worked with our Chinese colleagues to help ensure the preservation of the pandas. Our joint work to understand the habitat, the biology, the behavior of these amazing animals had led to breakthroughs in helping to preserve the species. I'm proud that we've trained more than 1,500 wildlife professionals and students in China. The cooperation between our scientists has increased and stabilized panda populations. And our work has provided valuable insights into not just how do you protect giant pandas, but how do you protect all the wildlife that share their habitat. But I'll tell you, all the essential science aside, and I know Brandy is crucially important to all the science, to me, let me use the scholarly vernacular. The pandas are the coolest thing I know. So today is a wonderful day for the Smithsonian, for the city, and for our nations. I want to thank you all for being here to share this celebration of our newest residents. And as my granddaughter said the other day, let Pandamania begin. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Muriel Bowser. I'm mayor of the best city in the world here in Washington, D.C. And I am thrilled to be here, and I want to thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your kind words. I want to thank you, Director Smith, and my dear friend, Secretary Lonnie Bunch, for all of the great things you do with the Smithsonian, with our wonderful National Zoo, and of course, with our panda diplomacy. I want to thank and congratulate the entire team here at the National Zoo. I agree with the Secretary very much that we were very, very sad in 2023 when we said goodbye to our pandas. But it was a jubilant day when the FedEx Panda Express drove through the streets of Washington, D.C. To make sure our pandas were coming home. I feel like I grew up with our panda relationship. The pandas arrived in D.C. Back in the 70s, just 4 months before I was born. So like many Washingtonians, I've always known a city of pandas, and we want to keep it that way. We are going to certainly enjoy these 10 years and many, many more. And Director Smith is quite right. We have a jewel here in Washington, D.C. at the National Zoo, part of the Smithsonian Institution and free to all visitors. So please be sure to check out your National Zoo. Of course, we in D.C. welcome millions of visitors from across the country and around the world every year, and the Smithsonian is usually their first stop. So we want our message to tourists to be clear. We have world-class hotels, fantastic restaurants, and pandas. We have a world-class public transit system that gets you to see the pandas very directly, and all of our museums are very friendly to kids and absolutely free. So once again, I want to thank the National Zoo. There's so much excitement. Our pandas we're celebrating in their beautiful home here at the zoo. The Washington Commanders are going to the NFC Championship. And we know that Bao Li and Qing Bao will be rooting for the home team. Thank you, everybody.
I just want to follow up on one thing. Mayor Bowser mentioned our public transportation system. If you have not seen the Panda Metro card yet, it is incredible. It's for sale at Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, and Metro Center. I actually, like after work yesterday, I ran to Cleveland Park and bought like 10 of them. So you better get them before I buy them all out. So our next thing is to officially unlock the gates and open District of Panda. And so I will ask the ambassador, the secretary, and the mayor to step over here with me. I forgot the key. So wait, just hold on one second. Annalisa, there's a key here. Can someone find me the key, please? Okay, we're gonna get it. I'm really sorry. What?
How cute
Oh
and special.
boy! And with that, the gates to the Panda
Yes,
Kingdom
a new
are open.
chapter in Washington, D.C.
Love it. We heard from the Chinese ambassador. We heard from Dr. Lonnie Bunch, the secretary of the Smithsonian. Of course, Brandy Smith, the director at the National Zoo. Just all waiting for this day, the excitement. And there we see the first people to get to see the pandas in person, walk through the gates.
Right, so
Yeah.
special. I really, my takeaway from all of this is, of course, pandas, they're beloved. We love them. It's tradition to have them here, but also the meaning behind it and the
Right.
conservation efforts are paying off. That is clear. In fact, Dr. Smith shared with us that throughout the time, they went from endangered to vulnerable
Right.
with less than 1,000 pandas, and now we're up to 3,000 pandas in the wild and breeding centers. And I think that just speaks to, you know, all of the efforts paying off and the studying and with our Chinese colleagues and the partnership there.
The work that's being done, and we always hate to see the pandas when they leave after that 10-year period of time, but we get it.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, I think we were all a little afraid when they left, and we're like, but what happened?
Sure, we
Where are
didn't
they? Are
know
they
if
coming
we were gonna
back?
get a
Right.
pair.
But the tradition continues now, and I just hope it continues forever. Like, it reminds me very much of the things that you can only get here in DC. So like the Cherry Blossom Festival, the pandas there. And I was also struck by what Dr. Smith said, that here in DC, this is the only place you can see pandas for free, because the zoo is a part of the Smithsonian, and we know that's free.
Yeah.
So it's just a wonderful treasure and a resource right here in our backyard.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, so now all we have to do is get our tickets and head to the zoo.
Okay, remember it's free, but you do need your ticket. But then the Panda Cam, so much to talk about.
Yes, thanks for joining us for our Panda Unveiling streaming special.
We will be back with a live report about the panda pair coming up in our 9 a.m. hour of Get Up DC, just under an hour from now. We'll see you then.